Hello, guys. Good morning. I just wanted to talk to you guys today about the upcoming AP exam. Let's start with the date. The test now has been moved to May 15th. It will begin at 1 p.m. And it is going to be obviously all online, which means a couple things for you. But first, let's talk about you can take this from any device. You can even take it from your phone if you wanted to. I don't suggest that, however, but you can type these. You can actually handwrite them, take photos of that, and send that in and submit that. But in the end, what's kind of cool this year, and typically this doesn't happen, is that we get your responses. So I will be able to see every one of your responses. They're going to send it to us after within 48 hours of the test. So that's going to be really neat too. But the DBQ itself is in a 45-minute time span. Now you may say, well, how are we going to do this? And trust me, the AP board, had shocked the world when they came out and said that they're going to do a DBQ test. They have modified this, even the point system and everything else, which I'm going to get to in just a second. But the last thing that I want to stress to you guys is that this is open note, open book. One more time, this is open note, open book, which means that if you are really ready and prepared for this, you can have those things out. The biggest thing I think that you should have is your AMSCO book. You have your index there. If you come across things that you don't know, you can quickly look that up and you have reliable information. Otherwise, you look things up on the internet or you do that stuff, guys, you might find misleading things. You might not find what you want, and time is of the essence. So the best resource you can have at your side is that AMSCO book. Make sure that you have it. Make sure that you have it that day, May 15th at 1 p.m. So that's the test as far as what is going to be is a DBQ. I'm going to go into the nuts and bolts of everything here. It is going to be different. So I want to show you the different rubric that they've put out and the changes. I'm sending that to you guys. I highly suggest right now you click on the link that I have on our calendar, open up that link and look at the rubric as I look over it too. Unfortunately, I can't project it up on the screen, but I will be talking through that rubric. And then I do want you guys at the end of all this too to fill out a Google form just so I know that you understand these changes. So take some time right now, open up that link, get it on your phone, and let's go over that rubric together. Okay, so the DBQ rubric went from a 7-point to a 10-point scale now. And so with that being said, there are obviously changes to this rubric, and I want to go through them here for you. First, let's start off with thesis, claim, and contextualization. There's absolutely no change here. It is exactly what you guys know it as to on the rubric. It is 1 point for thesis, 1 point for contextualization. There is no change here. So the first set of changes I want to go over is in the evidence column. Now you'll notice on your rubric, guys, that I've shared with you in green are where those changes are occurring. So this column now is worth 5 points. It used to be worth 3. Okay, so there's a couple different points that you can pick up. Let's start with the first one. It comes with the usage of documents. You don't have to use, again, 6 documents like it had before, or at least 3, right? That's where you picked up that first point. Now it is 2 documents. You only have 5 documents in total. You used to have 7. Now you only have 5 documents. You have to use, to gain 1 point, at least 2 documents, okay? At least 2. Now, you're just basically explaining, to pick up that 1 point, you're explaining what those documents are as far as what you see, okay? If you want to pick up another point, you incorporate those 2 documents within your argument, okay? So this is, again, using those documents, making them corroborate the things that you are saying and arguing. Okay, that's to pick up the second point. To pick up the third point for these documents, you need to use at least 4 documents. And yes, they do need to be incorporated into your argument. Okay, and the second change that comes up within the evidence column, the extra point comes with outside evidence. So you get 1 point for outside evidence. Now remember, in order to get that point, that evidence cannot be found directly within the documents. Directly. Okay. Now, this should be an easy point. As I mentioned before, this is open book. Have your AMSCO book on the ready. Be ready to comb through that quickly, that time period, what you're discussing, and pull out a term, a person, something again that relates to your argument that you can incorporate in. Now, the other point comes with an additional outside evidence point. This is another change. So you get 1 more point. This is 2 points now for outside evidence. Again, this should be pretty easy. You do have, again, open notes. So make sure you're organized. Make sure you have your AMSCO book, any other resources that you want to have out ready as we'll be going through, and have that on the ready so you can quickly access that and pull from that, okay? And so, guys, the last change comes in the analysis and reasoning column. And where you're going to see that is you're going to have to happy only 1 document now. Say that one more time. So for 1 point, you just have to happy 1 document. Here's the change. For an additional point, okay, you have to happy 2 documents only. Remember, before you had to happy at least 3. Now, again, it's only 1 document for 1 point. You pick up an additional point if you happy 2 documents. And remember, again, as you go through that, the happy historical context, audience, point of view, and perspective. So you have those different topics that you can cover. And remember, it's important that you always do the why. That incorporates, again, that document within your argument, and it makes it for a stronger paper. But again, you just have to do one of those 4 things for 2 documents, okay, to pick up 2 points. The last point is actually the same, the goodness point. Remember, this is the bullet pointed column. You can do this and earn this in a number of ways by writing a consistent paper that has a strong argument throughout, that's connected with evidence, where you present both perspectives or 2 perspectives well, but argue one side is another way to pick that up, or synthesis, right, in your concluding paragraph. Any of those things, you can earn that. But in the end, for this, you want to make sure that you're focused again on that rubric. And so today, what I want you to do is familiarize yourself with this rubric. I have a Google form with some questions that I want you to fill out that note the changes. Or lack thereof. So make sure that you are looking at that Google form. Make sure that you're looking over the rubric today extensively. And that's really the day today. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how we're going to attack this. And it is different. We're going to move into a 4-paragraph theme. And I'm going to explain to you why. But that, again, will come tomorrow. Today, let's focus on the rubric. Let's focus on the changes. Let's get that down. This is going to be a marathon. This is not a sprint. Guys, we have from now until May 15th, in a sense, to get ourselves prepared for this. So don't think that you're going to do and get all this in 1 day or a week. This is going to be over the stretch of time. And so by May 15th, you feel good about things. All right, guys, tackle that rubric today. We'll talk about the paragraph structure tomorrow. And finally, guys, I want to leave you with this image. And I want you to think about it and think seriously about it, because it tells us a lot about who is to blame for this 5 document-based DBQ question.